Well, coming up in this episode, man, it's all kinds of different stuff that's been coming out each day surrounding around this Nolan Wells tragedy. And it seems like one person, Trent Out Loud, has been in direct contact with former officer Brandon Tatum. Now, we did a show yesterday when Trent Out Loud exposed former officer Brandon Tatum's DMs on the conversation they had going back and forth, where Trent Out Loud was basically asking former officer Brandon Tatum to provide him with the metadata on the video they put out there that said is proof that the boys had nothing to do with Nolan's death. And they've been going back and forth. So it's only right to do a follow-up on what Trent Out Loud and former officer Brandon Tatum got going on, because basically Trent Out Loud has exposed Officer Tatum and he hasn't responded back at the time that we did the video. Now he has waited, and former officer Brandon Tatum has now responded, but it seems like Trent Out Loud got Officer Tatum running scared for some reason because of the information that Trent Out Loud is trying to get from former officer Brandon Tatum, the metadata from the video that they put out there. And actually, Trent Out Loud had an interview that he did on TMC with Harvey and basically exposes Harvey as well. So we're going to react to the latest, what's going on with Trent Out Loud and former officer Brandon Tatum, where it seems like Trent Out Loud got Officer Tatum running scared and he won't respond. And former Officer Tatum, when he responded, you won't believe what he said. Let's sit back and take a listen to what Trent Out Loud now has exposed former Officer Brandon Tatum of. And man, this is getting wild. But before we get off into that, man, y'all do me a favor, man. Please like, comment, subscribe on the video. And we're gonna react to exactly what Trent Out Loud has done now. And shout out to Trent Out Loud for this exclusive footage. So let's sit back and enjoy what we're about to hear. Pay attention.
This is where at the top here, you'll see this is where we left off. Like, again, the way we left off in last video, saying I have no choice but to assume you're lying. Before we go on to reading, again, because I'm transparent, unlike Harvey and unlike former Officer Tatum that never wants to offer any proof, let's play the video beside me again to show that this is not AI and this is not fake, this is not generated. Here's a video, and again, I'm pulling the timestamps beside so you can see that it's real. Okay, now let's go to the conversation. Former Officer Tatum replies and says, "There's a lot of moving parts. I'm not in direct communication with these young adults." Again, somebody already called you out. They contacted you, you contacted them, you had their phone numbers, and now all of a sudden, you reach out to them Monday night, technically Tuesday at 1 a.m. Sir, it's Thursday. They haven't got back to you. Either they haven't got back, either you don't have the information, or maybe they haven't got back to you because maybe there's trouble in paradise, sir. Maybe the white elite in Mississippi, maybe they're not happy with you anymore, sir. Maybe you've used up all your black guy cachet and they don't need you anymore. Maybe that's not why they're not answering you anymore. Sir? Could it be maybe that you, I don't know, maybe you stepped outside the box that they put you in and they're like, we told you to do this and say this. No, you didn't listen to us. Boom. Now they're not talking to you. I don't know. I'm just saying, if I was out here on my channel and social media 10 hours a day, literally talking for people, and then I reach out to them and they don't answer me in 72 hours. Hey, bro, that's a sign. So it's either they don't have the metadata and you don't have the proof, or they're really not answering you because maybe you're not part of the clique anymore, sir. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's just keep on reading on. I attempted to reach out, haven't gotten a response. It is disingenuous to say I am lying. You could say what you want. I will show these same messages about how I am responding to you in good faith and requesting what you asked for. Excuse me, sir. I asked for the metadata, not for you to respond, not for you to, I said, where's the metadata? Same thing like I asked Harvey on TMC. Here's a quick clip. Former Officer Tatum, has he provided you guys with the metadata? Do you know 100% when that video and those pictures were taken? Can you confirm to me right now that it was taken on July the 4th?
That's what we have concluded based on everything we've looked at. Metadata.
I was on TMZ Friday. It's almost been 7 days.
So
Former Officer Tatum nor Harvey from TMZ can produce metadata from the video that they say should exonerate the boys. Well, if it's so powerful, how come we don't have the metadata for it? I don't understand. A big, huge platform like TMZ, you have the nerve to say, Nolan was not on that boat. These boys could not have anything to do with it, but you don't want to provide us with any proof. It's been 6 days? Okay. He goes on to say, interview me, and I can explain my position if you really want to have an honest discussion.
This is where it gets tricky.
That is where you messed up. Let's go to my reply. I replied to his first comment and I said, you were promoting this video for over a week and saying it exonerates the boys. I would assume you would have the proof to back it up with you, meaning you shouldn't have to go and ask the boys in the middle of the night for it. You say something like this on a national case, you should have that right in your phone. And if somebody challenges, boom, right away. The same way how literally before I show you any of these messages, I show you proof. Here's a video. Here's my DMs. That's what you have to do in 2026. Sir, you're an officer with a platform and you don't know that? Well, maybe you do know that and you don't have the proof and you don't have the metadata because maybe that video or picture was taken a couple of days ago. Maybe it was staged because in 6 days you haven't proven anything. Okay. So I said, I would assume you'd have the proof to back it up with you. It's 2026. We live in the era of AI. You had to know you'd be questioned. But here's where I threw out the olive branch. But I'll move on to your second message because I think it addresses something bigger than this one single issue. Now, you'll see here, I reply to him asking me to interview him. I didn't ask him for no interview. He asked me. So I said, let me just read you what he wrote so it gives you context. I'll read it again. Interview me and I can explain my position if you really want to have an honest discussion. I said, all I want to do is have honest discussions. Anybody knows my channel, I'm about facts and receipts. I just want honesty. This is one of my biggest priority values in life, on and off this channel. All I want to do is have honest discussions. And I'd love nothing more than to hear you explain your position. And I think others would as well, because that's the most confusing part, in my opinion. And y'all let me know in the conversation, in the comment section. Do you understand his position? That's what he says. He says, if you really want to have I can explain my position. I would love for you to explain your position and why you're so adamant about us apologizing to these boys. Everything that you do is just about the boys. You're not about finding the truth. You're not about finding what has happened to Nolan Wells.
Facts.
Your position is solely these boys. And watch the video I made yesterday when I showed you in the DMs. All he wants is, he's like, if I show you the metadata, will you apologize to these boys? I said, no, I'll just say that the video is real. Because I'm not here to vouch or do anything for anybody. We're just here to find the truth. And that's what Benjamin Crump, that's what Christine, and that's what the real people who are involved in these cases, say what you want about social media, content creators, whatever, blah, blah. Benjamin Crump and Christine, Nolan's mom, has said, yo, we just want the truth. We just want answers. All Tatum wants, all Tatum's position is, I just want an apology for these boys. And I would love to know why. Are you getting paid for this? Are you the boys' lawyers? Is this some sort of your relatives? Like, what's going on?
Trent on
so
his
yes,
ass.
I do want the metadata, but honestly, more important, I think the world would love to understand your position, sir. And you saying to me, yo, Trent, come and interview me. I'll be honest with you. We'll have a discussion. I'll explain to you my position. Okay, you'll see here right at the bottom. It's been 12 hours. He looked at my reply. He's seen it. Has no response. No response.
Got him running scared.
I waited. He saw it last night, I think around like 11 o'clock. I waited in the morning. I did my workout. I prepped for my show, whatever. What do you want me to do? How much more longer do you want me to wait? So I sent him this message. You said you were going to provide me with the metadata. I waited. Sorry, I forgot the ED. I waited 24 hours and nothing. Then you said I should interview you, and I replied agreeing to said interview. You looked at my message, I waited for a reply, and 12 hours later, again, nothing. Did you message the young adults again, asking them permission if you could be interviewed by me? Are we waiting on them again, or are you afraid to answer some difficult questions during an interview that you suggested? Once again, this is another heads up. I'll be using this DM in my next YouTube video, and I think it's safe to assume you're either afraid, running, or need permission to do an interview. Again, an interview that you suggested and asked for.
Wow. Man, Trent out loud is on former Officer Brandon Tatum's ass. And I will say this, it seems like, I don't know if former Officer Brandon Tatum is running scared. He's backpedaling. He got his foot in his mouth. And just like Trent said, do you have to ask permission from the boys? Could you go on and do the interview with him to back up your claims? Also, a lot of people in the comment section are posting comments about former Officer Brandon Tatum is a stand-up guy. He supports black people. He is what the people need. And when I did a show 2 or 3 days ago, and then last night did a show, and I was talking about, this is the guy that y'all call a stand-up guy. People now replying in the comments talking about, who said he's a stand-up guy? I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. That's what I'm saying. Read the comments, read the room before you start posting your comments, because people are saying that this guy, former Officer Brandon Tatum, is a stand-up guy. And that's why I'm making reference to, when I say that and preference that, this is the guy that y'all say is a stand-up guy. Just read the comments. You'll see there's a few comments stating that he's a stand-up guy. I believe in former Officer Brandon Tatum. So when I'm saying that and preferencing that, it goes to the comments. Like I say, I see everybody in the comments section. And that's the reason why I'm saying that. But as far as Trent out loud seems like he is the person that has been in direct contact with former Officer Brandon Tatum by the DMs that he's exposing. And it seems like, for some reason, former Officer Brandon Tatum does not want to provide him the information that Harvey on TMZ said that he's seen proof of the metadata, the metadata. But he can't provide that to Trent out loud, and that's all he's asking. Now he's asking to be interviewed, and it seems like when Trent responded to said interview, that I'll interview you, it seems like he looked at the message and he hasn't responded. So like Trent out loud said, that makes me believe that you're hiding something, you're running from something, or your claims are starting to fall apart. Y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all get down in that comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section, #salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.